Hi to everyone. In this video, we are going to see about factor for considering in electrical machine design. Okay, the basic components of all electromagnetic apparatus are the field and armature winding supported by dielectric. So I already told no, there are three things which will be useful for uh, there are three things which will be useful for every machine design. Okay, one is magnetic circuit or the flex path. Another is electric circuit or winding. Third one is insulation, and along with that, these three are major things: magnetic circuit or flex path, and electric circuit or winding. It may be a generator or transformer or motor. The three things having the primary winding, secondary winding, like that, stator winding, rotor winding, like that. The windings will be present in motors as well as transformers. Like magnetic circuit also present between primary and secondary in the case of transformer. In the case of motor or generator, stator, and between stator and rotor, the magnetic flux or path will be present. Third one, insulation, and fourth one is cooling or ventilation. Insulation, which will be segregate or separate the stator and rotor, as well as that uh, windings present in the stator itself. Okay, it should not be a short circuited, so each and every windings will be separated by the insulations. And cooling system or ventilation, is this will be very major thing useful for all the machines to give good performance, because cooling system or ventilation is not present in a machine. The temperature will increase. When the temperature increases, what will happen? The properties of the materials will change. Okay, example, suppose if you have there is no cooling system for the motor, what will happen? That the current carrying conductors will be generated the heat. Okay, if the cooling system absence there, that heat generation in the current carrying conductors, that is copper wires, will be increased more. Then what will happen? Obviously the insulations presence in the copper wires will be eliminated, so short circuits may occur. So cooling systems and or ventilation is a major role for the efficiency as well as protection of the system, as well as the life cycle of the machines will be uh, increased if the proper cooling. Machine parts, okay, machine parts in the sense it has to be a robust, and it should be a it should be life, it should be more life, like that, machine parts should be chosen. Okay, now we come for first one, factors in magnetic circuit. Okay, the basic components of all electric apparatus are the field and armature winding supported by dielectric, or dielectric is nothing but insulation. Okay, dielectric is a material which will acting as the insulation for particular voltage. Okay, that is called dielectric strength. Normally air is a good insulation, plastic, then ceramics, there are so many acting as a dielectric or insulations. Cooling systems, for the cooling systems we will go for ducts. Okay, making holes in the case, okay, of the transformer, or in the case of motor, uh, that holes. Okay, uh, the factors considering in the design: magnetic circuit or flux path. Okay, should establish required amount of flux using minimum mmf. Magnetic motive force should be minimum, but it has to establish the required amount of flux path. Okay, so MMF increases means the size of the machines will increase. To avoid that, we need the required MMF or with the minimum, required flux path with minimum MMF. The core losses should be less if you go for less value of magnetic motive force. If the magnetic motive force value will be more, then the core losses should be high, as well as the size of the machine should be increased. To avoid that, the machine should be the magnetic circuit or flux path should be established required amount of flux with minimum MMF. Second one, electric circuit or winding should ensure required EMF is induced with no complexity in winding arrangement. Okay, so what it means, if you go for a electric circuit in a machine, a winding, okay, so electromotive force, it has to be generated in that copper wire with no complexity. Windings, we know there are so many types of windings are there. Single winding, double winding, duplex winding. Okay, the complexity should be less. At the same time, the machine should be produce required EMF. Okay, electric circuit or winding should ensure required EMF is induced with no complexity in winding arrangement. The copper loss should be less. If you go for more number of coppers, what will happen? That copper loss value also increased. So the copper used for the winding should be less. At the same time, it will fulfill the required EMF, electromotive force, for that particular machine. Okay, like that we should choose an. Okay, third one, insulation, should ensure trouble-free separation of machine parts operating at different potentials and confine the current in the prescribed path. Okay, confine current in the prescribed path in the sense, if any fault occurs in that uh, insulations, that normally the current takes a low resistance path. So insulation break in any place, it chosen the another path. Okay, so the insulation should be a good insulation, should work with long time, as well as it should not leak the current. Okay, so should ensure trouble-free separation of machine parts like stator and rotor. We need separation in the winding itself. For the starting winding, running winding, we need separation like that. The insulation should be trouble-free separation of machine parts operating at different potentials and confine the current in the prescribed path. Next one, cooling system or ventilation should ensure that the machine operates at the specified temperature. Okay, I already told no. If the temperature increases or decreases, what will happen? The physical properties and the chemical properties of the machine parts like copper. Okay, let us consider. Let add an example. If the temperature increases in the copper wire, what will happen? That insulation present in the copper wire will be eliminated. Okay, if that insulation eliminated, short circuit may occur. Okay, the cooling systems or ventilation should ensure that the machine operates at the specified temperature. If the temperature in the specified range, that machine will work in with good efficiency. Okay, that's a major role of cooling system or ventilation. Final and machine parts should be robust. Okay, there are successful design lies not only in the resolving the conflict or for space between the ions, coppers, insulation and coolants, but also an optimization of cost, manufacturing, and operating. Limitation in design, saturation should be avoided. Okay, current density should be in a level. Insulation should be good. Temperature should not be rise. Okay, customer needs. Suppose some customers needs good with less cost like that. National international standards convinced in production line